to start with a little figure 4 first, flat on our backs. Oh, tabletop position. Cross your left over your right. And then reach through and grab that right hamstring or quad, back of the knee, and then pull that knee in towards your chest. Try to bring that lower back flat onto the floor. Keep pulling that knee in as close as you can get while trying to keep that lower back flat. Just a quick 30 seconds, and then we're going to switch sides, right over left. Bring that left all the way. Bring that left close to your chest. Lower back is flat. We got some deadlifts on tap today, so we got to make sure our hips are nice and loose. Alright, good stuff. That was a little extra. Our first exercise on our mobility, actually the only exercise really, that was just extra because I'm feeling it. We're going to do a little kneel to stand, or sit to kneel, actually is the correct terminology because I'm sitting now, and then I'm going to kneel in this position, right? So pulling the hips back, switching sides, giving a little bit of momentum, and whipping that second hip up and through. If you need to, in the beginning, you can kind of use your hands to make it a little bit more fluid, but ideally work on not using your hands. Cool? 3 minutes, let's get it. Here's how it's going down, you know the deal. Cardio, bike row, jump rope run, run in place, hop up squats, jumping jacks, jumping split squats, mountain climbers, wall walks. I don't know, give me something for cardio, and then we're gonna do your partial. We are doing deadlifts, I said it earlier, I'm gonna say it again. Best day of the year. But deadlifts. Our partial is going to be a dead squat. So we're going to take sumo stance, drop the hips. Think about that good strong deadlift position, shoulder blades coming back, right? So a partial here is just going to be a small little hip extension and then back down. So lock up those shoulders and just use your hips. Boom. Boom. Okay, try to keep the hips nice and low, butt nice and low. And that is how it's going down. All right, guys, here's how it's going down. You know the deal. Doing 2 holds that are complementary to our main exercise, and today is a deadlift. That's the 3rd time I've said it. So, farmer's hold is going to be your first 30-second hold, and that's simply holding some weights at your side. Heavy, because it's power weight, and also you want to build strength with your grip, with your shoulders, with your posture. So simple stuff. It looks just like I'm just holding weights, but really I'm trying to retract my shoulder blades back, and I'm trying to let them kind of settle down while keeping my abs braced. So it's, and I'm locked and loaded here. What you want to do is avoid this forward rotation and the overextending of that lower back, really. So bring the belly button in, keep the core nice and tight, shoulder blades back and down, and think about your forearms kind of gripping this way. So you're in, right? So as you start to get more fatigued, that's going to want to slip all the way down. Whoa! Your job is to keep those forearms engaged while keeping the shoulders back and down. Okay? Farmers for 30 seconds. Perfect. Deadlifts. All right, so 2 things I'm looking for specifically with the deadlift is, sorry for my butt in your face email, I'll show you in a second, but you're looking to pull your hips back and have your hips act like a hinge. Okay, so if I see this, knees come forward, hips not folding, I'm going to stop you, right? And the thing is, you guys being more aware of feeling it when it starts to happen. If I can see it and tell you, that's one thing, but you need to be recognizing the fact that my hips aren't back. And I see some of you guys adjusting and you don't feel it, so it's a good thing. But hips are back, folding over at your waist, and now your upper body needs to be engaged. These 2 exercises we just did, you're gonna do before the deadlift, are positioning you and priming you to keep those shoulders rotated back. Think about the farmer's hold. You're rotating back. So now when you're in this hinge position, all you gotta do is use the power of your legs, press into the floor, and stand up. Right now, if you start to press into the floor and you don't have that upper body strength, boom, this happens. Now, I'm sure you've seen people do this, or you may have felt this before. Not good. For over time, you're just going to eventually just increase your risk of injury, right? So hips are back, pressing into the floor, standing up nice and controlled. Now, the key with this week is a 5-second negative. So, at the top, positioning, farmer's hold, right? Push the hips back. Feel your top part of your toes connecting to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up nice and fast. Push the hips back. 5, 4, 3, 2. Up nice and fast. Okay, so you're pressing into the floor and you're pulling up with your upper body. Make sense? You know the deal. Every 3 minutes we're starting a new round, trying to be as progressive as possible with that overload on the deadlift. But if you can't maintain that 5-second negative with quality form, obviously you shouldn't be going heavier. Cool? Heavy is all relative, by the way. 6 rounds. Anybody have any questions, comments? You can use a barbell, dumbbells, kettlebells. I was just using kettlebells for the video in case people are watching at home and don't have barbells. But you guys obviously have the access to the barbells. Same rules apply. Barbells close to your body, hip hinge, pulling up with the upper back. Finish your time. Here's how it's going down. Every 2 minutes on the minute, you're starting a new round. Your chipper exercise today is going to be sumo deadlift high pulls. But before you get to them, you have to do some work. First up, standing pullover. Squeeze your glutes, keep your lower body engaged, trunk included, abs tight. Dumbbell or kettlebell, whatever you got, keep it close to your body, get that good stretch. And then as you pull over, think about pulling and doing some more retracting of those shoulder blades. Pulling back, activating the upper back. Okay, what I see a lot of is this. That's the worst thing you can do for your shoulders, okay? So, let's recap. Pull back, get that good stretch in your lats and triceps, and then when you come right about here, you start thinking about pulling your elbows back and raising your chest up. So those upper back muscles should be engaged, not here, but here, okay? Same kind of things we've been working on all morning, or all workout so far. Shoulder blades down, shoulder blades back, same thing, okay? 7 of those. Next up, lying leg raise with a little bit of a pike. So flatten your back here, leg raise up. Try to get those toes or those legs up a little bit higher toward the ceiling. Okay, nice and controlled on the way down. You're doing 8. And we got elevated glute bridge. You can probably use your kettlebell for that to be efficient. So just giving you a little bit of height so you can get more range of motion in those for those glutes and hamstrings. Okay, back down, simple stuff. Really press into that kettlebell or whatever you have. Make sure you feel it in your glutes and hamstrings. Now, kettlebell, sumo deadlift high pull. A little bit wider of a stance, kind of what we did earlier with the dead squats. Rotate your hips out so your knees stay in line with your ankles. And then keep the same rules that you were just following for the deadlift. You're hinging from the hips, back's nice and flat. Only now, you're gonna bring that kettlebell up to your chin, elbows up higher than your wrist. Okay? Since it's power week, we can build some speed using the hips, build momentum, press into the floor, and then follow it up with a nice high pull. Okay? What muscles are we working? Same muscles, upper back. Okay? And obviously lower body, hips, glutes, core, all that fun stuff. You're doing 80 of those. 80. Okay? So it is power week, so think about what kind of weight you're going to use. But that's how the finisher's going down. We got 6 rounds or 6 attempts to get to that 80 rep. Let's go.